Welcome back. You're watching Signature TV, and this is a Signature Morning. Of course, we have woken up to this very sad news about the Nigerian female music icon, Miss Onyeka Onwenu, passing on. Onyeka Onwenu was 72 years of age. She died after slumping at a birthday party where she performed in honor of Mrs. Stella Okoli, founder of Emzo Pharmaceuticals, who was celebrating her 80th birthday. We have with us live in the studio to discuss this and further Mr. Fred Iwejora is an entertainment and culture journalist, Saturday Vanguard columnist, and media consultant. Good to have you. Good morning.
Thank you. Thank you.
It's a sad one.
Very sad.
I don't know, even given the amount of persons we've lost in terms of prominence in the southeast, it's quite shocking, really.
Very, very shocking indeed. The death of Onyeka just added to the pain of the southeast people and then to the world, because Ifeanyiba is also known worldwide. Chief Imwanya also known worldwide. Then Onyeka, through her music, touched lives, played all over. Her music was, she was an international person. You know, from my years in the school in the US, where she got a master's degree after studying communications, she got a master's degree, came to Nigeria. She has been on our firmament forever. Since the 80s, came back to do her youth service in NTA, and after the youth service, she played so much role and then made one film, Squandering of Riches. So when we are talking about Nigeria's corruption problems, it didn't start today. In the 80s, Onyeka made a film seeing how we are squandering the oil riches that we have in Nigeria. It became a BBC program and made her very popular internationally. Yes. Then her music. Can we start talking about her music? From that time, she made In the Morning Light first, and then another one that contained, I can't remember the name now, Living Music. One song like that, produced by Sonia Kosu. After that, she made others. She sold in EMI and went to Polygram. Dancing in the Sun is still remembered. The song for Winnie Mandela is international too, because Onyeka went to play, because of that song, Onyeka went to play in Zimbabwe, South African area, because of that song. Because of that same song, when Nelson Mandela came to Nigeria, he wanted to see her. So Onyeka did plenty. And then after her secular music life, she started singing advocacy things. She did one song for Planned Parenthood about making choices. You get pregnant, carelessly make your choice. He made it with Sonia Ade. Then he started making gospels. So Onyeka touched our lives, really.
Can you quantify the loss, really? How much has the industry of music, especially in Nigeria, lost?
You know, there's a problem here if you say industry of music. Journalism lost someone, broadcasting lost someone, music, fame. She was an actor as well. She acted in several.
She was also an activist.
Yeah, she had activity and was a politician. So she was an all-rounder in one. So Nigeria has lost, the world has lost plenty. It's difficult to quantify.
But what do you think we can learn from her life? I mean, she lived 72 years. 72 is a long time.
Yes.
What do you think the young people can learn from her life while she lived?
You know, she was one of the educated people who were in music. One of the solidly educated people. So young people could learn that you can keep to your dreams, you can keep to your talents even when you're going to school. And then if you're not going to school, you have talent, please try and go to school. You know, I learned that. Then I learned bravery. A woman that was so strong, she was called Elegant Stallion.
Exactly.
How can you have a stallion that is elegant? The stallion is male in the horse, in the horse lives. But this is an elegant stallion. So named by one journalist, a colleague of mine, Azuka Jebose, joined them to go to Zimbabwe for a performance. And after the performance, she wrote a story in the Punch that this woman is Elegant Stallion. We kept calling her. A lot of people do not know how it all started. So what I'm saying is that we have to learn plenty, young people. And then there is discipline about life. If you work with Onyeka, you know that you must be on your toes. There's no way, no space for nogare, no space for being careless, no space for being carefree. And she also kept her private life too private. Plenty things to learn about Onyeka. You can't continue to quantify.
Wow. It's a huge loss.
I hear you talk about her. It's just there is so much to learn. There is so much to learn. What would you how would you describe her death? Because she was performing. She actually was done performing.
And sat down
and went back to her seat and slumped.
So what does it tell you about life? Ephemeral. Anything can happen anytime. If Ifeanyi went to his son's graduation and then in the hotel room went away. Iwanyanwu, the same. No, Onyeka, the same. So what does it teach you about life? You don't know tomorrow. You don't know the next minute. Nobody knows.
So there are speculations that, these occurrences are not ordinary. Are you also of that school of thought? Are you also part of those who think that this gradual takeout, it's, according to the speculations, that it's a gradual takeout of some icons of some sort in the Southeast?
I don't think so. I don't believe in such. Anybody whose time is come is gone. Yeah, I don't think. If you want to take out, are you taking out from what genre, from what area of life? Are you taking out from music? You're taking out from politics? You're taking out from business? I don't believe in such speculations. I believe that when the time comes, you answer the call. I remember reading while we were children, they told you when the time comes, you want to run pancake, no they there. Make her prepare is not there. So we have to all think that today may be the last. Live your life as if it's the last day. Don't procrastinate. If anything you want to do, do. Don't wait, because tomorrow may not come. It's not promised to anyone.
Yeah, so I was talking to someone earlier about this on the phone, and I think he mentioned something around the fact that black people, I'm not saying that in relation to this particular issue, but black people don't really take care of themselves when it comes to going for checkups regularly. And he mentioned something that was quite striking. He said, if you're a black man, as soon as you're 40, there are certain things that you must do health-wise in order to check yourself.
Yeah. Black people, Africans, because of the way we live, because of how we live, the medical system is not working, nobody's investing in it. Maybe because of it, we don't go checkups. But in Igbo land, one patient, I was speaking with number one first semester in Nigeria that survived. I've spoken with her severally. Now on her birthday on the 7th, she turned 71 on 25th. What were we saying? She's in the US now. I said, why are you coming back? He said, not coming back. Oh, why should I come back? When she's on permanent monitor for the Oyibo. If there is a little emergency, 911 is in front of your house, everybody, the next door neighbor knows how to do artificial resuscitation immediately, now before every other thing happens. But not here. If she were living here completely, maybe she couldn't die. So the problem we have here is the same universal problem of the African. There are no hospitals. They prefer to go abroad for it. They prefer to go and build hospitals outside, and they steal money and then behave the way they like. So that is the reason why we will not go to hospitals. Now, the typical European has a medical insurance. Whatever happens, because money is being removed from your small earning to pay for whatever will be an emergency in the hospital. That's why the hospital will take care of you as soon as you land. So here, the challenges of not having hospitals, even though you have qualified men who go outside to do it better, that may be the cause. That may be the cause. We should be able to do that. It's luxury now for me to now go and check my BP when I know that I have not yet. BP, I'm going to check BP. I beg you, leave them. Let me feed first. We haven't finished talking about our fuel. We haven't finished talking about all our issues. Then we're going to do medical checkup. So it's a systemic problem, not what we love. So I know that if traveling abroad, I use my travel insurance that I paid maybe 30K or something. As soon as I get for any program outside, I'm going to do, because that's travel insurance I paid is going to allow me, it may not be surgery, it may not be big things, but check. So some people don't have opportunities to do that, yes.
We know that she contested, talking about Onyeka Onwenu, she contested for local council chairman.
She won.
Yeah, no, she didn't.
No, but she was before.
She contested twice.
But she was appointed before.
And what would you think led to the loss?
Wow.
Making her to lose, yes.
The Nigerians don't like good people to rule now. Do you want good people to rule in Nigeria so they can perpetuate evil? Now the good people who tell them, this is the way, they don't want to. We keep shouting afterwards. Yeah. And they know she is a woman. Most times women are not allowed to move beyond.
You know that was at Idato local government.
It's her local government.
Yes.
Yeah. It's our local government. So women are having issues in Nigerian politics. Whether you like it or not, it's difficult for a woman to rise, you know. And then, secondly, Onyeka is tenacious. Onyeka is stubborn. Onyeka has discipline that a lot of people cannot contain. That's why maybe she's not the kind of person they want there. It's going to happen to, nobody knows what will happen to Kamala Harris now, who is pushing to become American president. So the issue about women becoming leaders, political leaders in the world is a problem. Few places they have done. Britain has done, and then America, the biggest democracy, has not done. India has done before. If Onyeka won, in fact, if we don't have won that thing because we are not prepared for a woman to lead. And that's my opinion, so that go.
And she was made the executive director by that was in the presidency of Goodluck Bailey Jonathan, yes. Center for Women Development. Yeah. There were many women in Nigeria. What do you think made the president choose her?
Onyeka is highly qualified now in education and accomplishments. He's highly qualified. There are a lot of people who are also qualified, but then you place them side by side. She is popular. So people who are qualified, place them side by side, then can be able to say why. But I think Onyeka is qualified to be anything that is possible in Nigeria. Education is number one. Very few women are as educated as she is, and influential as she is, or she was. Sorry. Pity.
Right. I mean, while she worked at NTA, in fact, I think at some point she even protested against NTA that they are using her songs without paying her royalties. As this thing about her, she's fearless, she's strong, she knows what is right, you know, she knows what she wants. What can young women of these generation learn from her?
Tenacity, believing in yourself. And you know, when you're educated, I don't think you're afraid. Most people who are educated already know, because they know where is the fear then. But you know, people are not educated. Some are educated and they are still afraid. But you must be educated first of all, because education builds you some kind of strength, too much of strength. And Onyeka was a special being, especially, you know, and thinking of the fact that she was raised by her mom. She was 4 years when the dad died. Right, yes. Yeah, and then lost things. The family, the mom and the children and family lost inheritance from their father. So went to live with the mom and grew up in Port Harcourt and Obosi, where the woman came from. So what am I saying? I'm saying that she must have seen, her childhood must have exposed her to pain, plenty of pain that men inflict on women in Africa, and then may have used it to raise her and make her strong to be the best of what she can be.
You know, my colleague Charles said something earlier when he was asking what made her who she was. A while ago, a long time ago, a young lady actually told me that she walked into an elevator with Onyeka, and there was just this aura, this fierceness she couldn't explain. Do you think it's something she built over time, or is it something she's just engraced with?
Together, both. You know, engraced with it, because if you see her perform, you see style. You see a woman who is very, in fact, you must love her. Then she engraced and then imbibed over time. I can agree to that. Both of them. Inside, she has it as a gift, and then learned about it over time and then prepared ourselves to, if possible, to prove to those people who did not treat our mother right that I will become somebody, and I have become somebody, maybe.
Right. It's so unfortunate that we've lost someone of this magnitude. It's really cold, if you ask me. It's really cold trying to even put it together, line by line, with other persons who have passed on. I just hate to say that death is wicked.
Yeah.
But then it's
It is
inevitable.
wicked. Yeah. It's wicked because it takes what you love, and it's inevitable because it must happen. When it does happen is what we don't know. The shock is what is enveloping the world. Can somebody finish performing? If you see the last performance, she was singing the same One Love, and then after One Love, she went to sit down, and then that's it. Lessons of life. Tomorrow is not promised to anyone.
Right. Again, something you said that quite struck me, trying to compare our medical situation with that of the ones that are abroad, that people learn how to do something as easy as first aid before anything happens. Someone told you that they would not come back because of that, in fact. So I wanted to find out from you, how do you think we can improve our system to the point that, you know, beyond just our medical system, but even people learning how to resuscitate someone when someone just drops dead or drops, you know, faints?
This problem with Nigeria is something that we left from the roots. Now, if you want to begin to teach somebody how to resuscitate people now, when they never chop, call a meeting now and say, okay, we want people to come and learn how to be able to do artificial respiration immediately. Check how many people will come there. But right now that you're going to give palliatives or one pack of Indomie, people will come there and die. So what does it tell you? That it is difficult to do that, even though you can't stop asking people to learn. Because an advantage if you learn how to do artificial resuscitations and respiratory things. People come to where there's an accident and they are using their phones. They're just using the phones. So the ethics of understanding what life is lost, very, very much lost. So maybe continuous education will make us learn. But I know that what is bothering us now is different from those, you know.
All right.
Okay. We have another person join us on that matter, still talking about Onyeka. I said Onyeka. Onyeka Onwenu, the legendary elegant stallion and a musical icon. Beyond music is we have the person of Mr. Vin Martin Ilo. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you? I know you have already heard about this this loss of what Nigeria has lost this morning. What's your reaction to it?
Okay, of course, it's sad. It's very sad because we've lost someone very dear to Nigerians. In the course of my journalism, I've interviewed Onyeka so many times. But let me start with when I met her for the first time. I was just out of secondary school. I was looking for a job. And she was one of those stars in the Anambra Broadcasting Service. So I remember the particular day we came for audition and all that. And when we saw her, it's like you saw one of these very big stars. I remember people like her. I remember Marius Ogada. And there were a couple of them that come to Enugu then to establish the Anambra Broadcasting Service. So that was the first time. And then she went to NTA, and I followed her career in NTA. She was one of the big stars in NTA too. And then she went into music. Onyeka is one woman that is so meticulous about so many things. She's so straightforward. It suffers. She does not suffer fools gladly. If you are not up to your game, you can't roll with Onyeka, because she's someone who wants to do it the right way, and she does not cut corners, and she says it the way it is, and in the success that she achieved in the music industry too, because from journalism she transited into games star. I also remember my last interview with her. It was the executive secretary of the women. He was already having issues with some staff in the place. Why? Because of her, for doing it right. She's a special, doing it not very strict that is supposed to be done. She believed in due process, in transparency. And she was having a lot of issues with her colleagues at that organization, because they felt that she was a disruptor who had come to change things. And you know what you hear when you go to work with civil servants? They tell you, Madam or God, this is not the way we do it. This is not the way we do it. So Onyeka didn't want to do it the way they did it. Onyeka wanted to change things. So that's the Onyeka that I have interviewed several times. And I think that as a country, as an industry, we have really, really lost someone.
Okay, in a nutshell, what do you think the world should take away from her as lessons moving forward?
It's also important to realize or to talk about the other aspect of her, that she's a woman activist. She's also a human rights activist.
Okay. Hello. Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Vin Martin Obiora Ilu, for your contribution on this matter. We really, really appreciate, and I've still appreciated the person of Onyeka Onwenu and what she's been, what she was to beyond Nigeria, Africa, and the world over. We still have Mr. Fred Iwonjora, who has been shedding some light. Someone would say so many lights. We really do appreciate your input on Onyeka's matter.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you too. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much.
As the world bids farewell to this woman, we continue to remember the elegant stallion, a word, a name that was given to her by Azoka Jabose.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're headed for a short break. When we return, we'll switch gears right now. Do stay with us.